Got to be coaching volleyball.
Thank you. Been doing it for a while.
We are here on Spike It for Life night at Frontier Regional School Goodnow Gymnasium. I am here with George Mulry, the head coach of the Longmeadow High School volleyball team. Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming out. Tell us about Spike It for Life. You started this whole thing. What is it?
Yeah, back in 2009, we were really looking for a community service project at Longmeadow, and Dig Pink was another organization that had been started nationwide. And really, we were looking for something that we could put our mark on locally and have the money stay local. So we kind of devised our own event and organization called Spike It for Life, and we've been around since 2009. So it's been going around for a long time. We've raised over $75,000 that stayed local in Western Massachusetts. And I think the really cool thing about Spike It for Life is that even though we wear pink and that's kind of our branded color, we wanted to start something that doesn't exclude somebody because they have the wrong cancer.
Right.
So we want to raise money for anything that the teams want to, so they can choose their own, whether they want to raise it for an individual or if they want to raise it for an organization. Typically at Longmeadow, we do Bay State Regional Cancer Program, their pediatric oncology.
So are these individual grants or are they case-specific? I mean, what does the money go toward?
It's entirely up to the host school, and so that's something that's really special about Spike It for Life is that Frontier is going to hold theirs tonight, and so they're going to donate part of their money to a specific individual at another school, Justin Lingenberg, that plays on the Agawam boys team. So we have the flexibility that they raise the money, they keep all the money, and they're able to spread it out any way that they like.
What made you get into this? What was the motivation?
You know, we really, in high school sports especially, we're kind of the forefront of the school. We're the front porch of the school,
right.
And so we have an obligation to really do more in the community than some others. So we figured this would be a great way for us to get out in front and show all the good that's been going on. And we were able to get a lot of support from area schools. Over the years, we've had 16 to 17 other schools participate, even on the boys' side as well. So it's been really terrific. It's been received very well. And it's been fun.
It's a fantastic cause. Tell us about Justin Lingenberg. Who is he?
Yeah, Justin is a boys player for the Agawam team, and he also participates in Pioneer Valley Juniors in the off-season, which is a club that Sean McDonald, the Frontier coach, and I are co-directors of. And Justin, unfortunately, found out that he has brain cancer.
Oh, God.
And so obviously traumatic for anybody to find out. I think it hits especially home for high school students when it's one of their own. So we're trying to do everything we can from the Pioneer Valley Junior side and from the local high school side to really rally around and help make things as easy as possible for him. He's really starting his chemo treatments now, and we want to make sure that this kid is seen through all the way and he's able to come and continue participating.
Obviously, events like this raise money and raise awareness, but is there a website or some other way people get involved if they want to?
Yeah, absolutely. SpikeItForLife.org and even Facebook and Twitter. Spike It for Life is probably the best way to do it. That has all the updated information about what's going on, the upcoming events, the schools that are hosting events. And like I said, it's entirely up to the host school what they want to raise money for, and it's really a tremendous program that's been going on for a long time now.
George Mulry, head coach, Longmeadow volleyball team, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
It's a great event. Happy to be a part of it, and good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, good. Everybody in the building, talk about your involvement.
You know, you just spoke with George. George is the one that started Spike It for Life. It's a cancer fundraiser. I mean, cancer has touched everybody's lives. There's nobody here in the gym that hasn't been affected by it in some way. So it's a chance for us to give back and to try to help people in our communities.
And, of course, we're talking about raising money for Justin Lingenberg, but your kids also are trying to raise money for a local charity as well, right?
Yeah, we've helped out the Cancer Connection down in Northampton. We've helped out the Bay State Cancer Center down in Springfield in the past. And this year we're taking some of the money to help Justin Lingenberg, who's a 16-year-old boys volleyball player down in Agawam, who was just playing volleyball one day in the summer for the Bay State games for the West and had a headache and then found out that he has a tumor in his head.
Amazing.
So, yeah. So we're going to be taking some of that money and supporting him and his family as they go back and forth to Boston for treatment.
And people, that's an expense that is not covered by health insurance. Yeah. It's one of those things and it's tremendously important to have that extra money to be able to do that.
Yeah, we feel good. It's, this is what Spike It for Life. When George 99.999% of the guy that got this going, we had some discussions about it, and there's some other national organizations like Dig Pink. They do the volleyball breast cancer fundraiser, and you give them the money, and they do some great work with it, but you never see it back in your community.
Right.
And we always felt like we wanted to be able to help their community, and then help someone. We didn't want to say, "Oh, sorry, we can't help you because you got the wrong kind of cancer."
Right, exactly.
We wanted to be able to help people. So this was a little more generic and a little more flexible, and gave us a little more local control over who we helped and how we helped them. So this was right up Spike It for Life's alley.
It's also a chance to give the kids that play for you an opportunity to not only play the game, but also be able to be part of a public service project, which isn't always something that kids get a lot of chances to do.
Yeah, it definitely, the conversations this week in practice has been like, these are, in my opinion, the two best teams in Western Mass, Longmeadow and Frontier, and we're number 1, number 2 in Mass Lives rankings, for whatever that means, and we're going to be battling it out, and it's going to be a good game, but it's also, we're playing for something that's much bigger than us, and it's special when you hear a 17-year-old girl talk about, like, guys, we're playing for something more than just first place in the league.
Exactly.
So it's pretty cool that and a couple of them have said this could be any one of us.
Exactly.
You have a headache in a volleyball game and you find out you have cancer. It's just a tough thing.
We're talking with the Frontier volleyball coach Sean McDonald. So upcoming, a battle of two really good teams. You came off a pretty good win over Amherst. You lost that first set, but you guys came back and some great serves, some great net play. Talk about tonight. What's going to be the key against Longmeadow?
Well, Longmeadow's good. They got multiple weapons that can attack you. The two Tyler sisters and Steph Perkins are going to be attacking us from the pins. We call them the antennas out on the outside portions of the net, and they're strong. And you can't just key on one person. They've got 3 or 4 weapons that can really hurt you. So I think that one of our keys is going to be to try to do what we did with Amherst, is to serve tough and to try to get them to pass poorer than normal, and so it's a little harder for them to run their offense to be able to attack us efficiently. Grace
ran a lot of monster games serving against Amherst, but the kid we got to talk about is Ella Dean, who's 7 assists away from 1,000. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's especially when last year was really her first year. Playing most of the time. Emily Woodward was here before for a few years, and so Ella, it's coming up on it. So it's she's been doing a good job for us. We had that tough year last year where our record was not what it usually looks like, but so we weren't getting as many kills actually, and you don't get assists if someone doesn't kill your set. So. This year we're doing a little bit better, and we knew, this year she was going to get it. So it's going to be a special thing with, her senior year and Spike It for Life and against Longmeadow, and it's just going to.
It seems like Ella and Lauren Davenport and Ashley. It seems like you got a lot of really tall players that she sets that ball real nicely for.
Yeah, she's been pretty consistent, and that's, it's some people compare it to the quarterback, and a lot of other people compare it to a point guard. The point guard's distributing the ball around.
She's a point guard in basketball,
she is. And so she's got some experience at that. So it's her job. She's got a lot of control over how we do. And, she's looking at who do I have available to hit, who is trying to block them, what do those matchups look like. And there's a lot going on in your head. You have basically 1 second to figure it out and set somebody. It's people sometimes think volleyball is slow. It's like playing with a 4-second shot clock.
Exactly.
Okay, you got 3 contacts, and if you take your time, the ball's back on the other side in 4 seconds. So there's not a lot of. She's got less than 1 second to decide where our offense is going to go, and we can have some of that planned out before the serve. But if our pass is bad, now that plan is over.
Correct.
And now she's got less than a second to decide what plan B is.
It's going to be a good one. It's Frontier against Longmeadow. It's Spike It for Life night. We'll talk to you between sets.
Yes, sir.
Coach Sean McDonald of the Frontier RedHawks. Upcoming, the opening serve. High school volleyball on Frontier Community Access Television.